Congratulations on that victory. A great win, obviously beating a legend like Fedor. Scott Coker came in here earlier and he was talking about how you're definitely one of those guys up there at the top, pound for pound. And here you are standing with 3 Bellator belts, first person to ever win 2, let alone 3. What do you think of your own legacy at the top of the Bellator fighters list? Do you think you're going to go down as one of the greatest of all time in Bellator and MMA in general?
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. I think this kind of solidifies that I am one of the best pound for pound out there, but it's just one of those things where I feel like I'm in my prime right now, so there's a lot more to go. So I haven't even really begun to kind of scratch the surface on legacy and all that kind of stuff. So, but this was a pinnacle right here, heavyweight championship. I'm a light heavyweight champion. I got to fight Fedor, one of the best of all time, in the Grand Prix style tournament and become a 2-division champion. I mean, what else is there to do? I can't drop to 185. You can defend him and all that, but to do that against that competitor, in Fedor, and as you look back at a career, I mean, that'll always be a highlight.
Ryan over here, as you're sitting there in the cage waiting for him to make his entrance, he's slow, he's taking his time, he's big Russian, everyone's going nuts for him.
Yeah.
What are you thinking as you're sitting there waiting for him to get in there?
I'm just trying to focus on what I put myself there before in training camp and all that, because all the hoopla and the fighting Fedor and try not to get the wide eyes and looking across from a legend and all that, and it's experience. I've done that in my past. I've fought legends of the sport, who's who of MMA. So for me, I try to put that way down deep and not even think about it. It pops up every once in a while in training camp and fight week and all that. But when I was standing across there, I've never done the with the flags coming out and all that, or the Star Spangled Banner. It definitely was different for me, but it got me fired up. It was kind of like you walk out, you have those emotions going, and then it slows down a little bit, and so then you kind of got to kick it back up a little gear. But man, it was fun.
When that left hits and you see him go back, do you have a human moment there, or are you still...
You know what? I saw that moment, and you can ask my team. We practiced that moment a lot. I saw that punch was going to do it. He throws. You can't see his right hand because he throws from his hip. He's very hard to see. He throws hard, but in doing so, you leave yourself exposed. And we felt that he was going to respect my wrestling a lot, and I could put one up top. And if you look through any of the footage on, the ones that didn't get played, but on the countdown shows and all that kind of stuff, we were practicing that punch the whole time, throwing a jab, getting our distance, and then feinting and throwing that left hook, and we knew he'd be there. And it just, that's a hard punch right there. He went down, and I saw that over and over again already, so it just kind of played out how we saw it.
Ryan, to your left, congratulations on the win. Beating Fedor, now that you've done it, what is that like? You were in the ring with Tito Ortiz and John Jones, and a lot of great fighters, and you referenced that before.
Yeah.
Did this guy mean anything more because you watched him before, or because of his mystique?
Yeah, like I was telling him, I kept that down inside. This definitely, if I had the opportunity to fight any fighter, if you asked me, when I started fighting, it would be Fedor. And that aura and mystique about him. And look what he's done in this tournament. He goes out there and finishes 2 tough guys in the first round. Props to him. He comes out here. He does a heavyweight tournament with a bunch of killers and makes it to the finals. So I'm very honored to be part of his story and now have him be part of my story. What happened tonight, you take nothing away from Fedor. He's putting that work, and he's cemented his legacy. So for me, I try to keep my head down, and it's time to cement mine.
You threw that left hook from a good distance away. Sometimes left hooks are like you think a Joe Frazier on that inside like that. Did you think you had the power on it from that distance to be able to do what you did?
Oh yeah, in the back there too. It was kind of funny. My coach has a little kind of hurt elbow, so we weren't throwing hooks to holding a pad out here and throwing a hook. He was holding a pad at his head, and he was circling away, holding it up here. So I was getting my distance the whole time on that. In the back, 50% of the punches thrown in the back there, warming up, was that punch. We were setting it up distance and all that, and then and kind of circling him into that, feinting, kind of get his hands down, which are already down. But then we're trying to get him more or less to run into that punch too.
And then, as great a punch as that left hand was, you hit him with the right from I mean, that really. Do you think the right hand was a bigger punch than the left? Because, it seemed like maybe he was starting to get up and you cracked him with that right, and it was the end.
Man, he's just too tough for his own good. That punch was hard. The left hook was hard. And then I waited for a second, because I didn't want to follow up. But the ref didn't jump in and stop it, so I followed it up with that hard right hand. And I have a pretty hard right hand from that short little distance. And so I cracked him with that one, and it was kind of like, all right, that's enough,
And last question for you. Can you evaluate yourself, compare yourself, a light heavyweight to heavyweight? Do you think you're better at heavyweight because you don't have the weight cut and that you're able to, kind of combine all your talents?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to go back and, I haven't cut weight the last couple fights. It's been nice. It takes an added stress out. And yeah, I think coming in at your natural weight without sucking any water out, I was sucking 15, 20 pounds of water out of my body and trying to put it back on. It's got to do something to you, But at the same time, it's also experience. Even though I have a lot of fights, it's still experience at the big stage and these main events. I get more comfortable every time I walk out of there. So I feel like I'm good at both, but it's definitely easier and a lot more fun fighting a heavyweight.
Ryan, congratulations on the performance.
Thank you.
Were you surprised how quick it ended?
I was kind of what I was talking about over here. I saw that happening. I just didn't know when. I thought the longer the fight went, the more in favor it was for me. And we planned on kind of getting into that firefight like you did with Chill at the first round, because even though it would suck, I feel like it would benefit me in the long run. And I did feel like I was gonna connect on him with that punch, or a right hand, timing his right hand and throwing my own. I felt like I could go punch for punch with him and put him down. But no, you never think it's going to go that quick. That was twice in this tournament that's happened. 15 seconds. I think this one's like 35 seconds. It's always nice. You don't have to go 5 rounds, get a knockout, you can walk out of there, not break a sweat. So it's always be healthy too. The tournament's over, but like the first round with Chemo, when I got to get out of there healthy and just move on, it was nice.
And you've had a great stretch here with the tournament, and obviously your last 12 fights as well. What's been the biggest difference with what you've been doing in this stretch compared to your previous?
Yeah, in my past, I've always had the physical abilities. They were always there, but sometimes the mental side of it. I was younger coming in as a wrestler, didn't know what the hell I was doing on my feet. I literally didn't know what I was doing on my feet until I was fighting Rashad, and I got a jab. I was like, oh, it's so much nicer being able to not freak out, and so the people around me, the coaches and people I have around me right now, we're just in a good groove. We mesh really well, and it's fun for me. I made a promise after my last loss to go out there and have fun, not worry about the result of everything and hype it up and whatnot. And ever since then, it's been a great run.
Ryan, over here.
Last time you won, or when you won the light heavyweight title, it was a close fight with Phil Davis, but this was a definitive win. Do you feel like this is the type of victory that's going to get you your due, as far as just what you were able to do in the cage, and just getting respect from people in general, being one of the best?
Man, that the Phil Davis fight was awesome. What are you talking about?
It was. It was a close
No,
fight.
it wasn't. I hope we never have to fight again. But we just Phil's a weird style and all that, and we just did not match up. And yeah, so when I won the belt, it was kind of like split decision. It wasn't exciting at all. It was just kind of a lackluster kind of. But yeah, I won the belt, so it was fun. But to cap this off, to cap winning the heavyweight title, but cap off a tournament, and then let alone it be Fedor and knocking Fedor out in 30 seconds to win the heavyweight championship, be 2-division champion. I mean, like I was saying, it doesn't get any better than that. That's a pinnacle right there. So, yeah, this one definitely was a lot sweeter.
You got a couple belts up there now. You never had a title shot in the UFC. Does that make this a little bit sweeter, just to say, like, hey, maybe you guys could have made more of an effort to keep me around?
Yeah, I'm so far past that right now. I always said, give me the opportunity. you know, and I'll prove to you that, you know, I'm one of the best guys out there. And came over here to Bellator, and they gave me that opportunity, first fight, and won the title in Madison Square Garden. Defended it. They asked if I wanted to do a heavyweight Grand Prix. I said yes before we knew any of the opponents, and started to fill out. And I was looking over there like, man, it would sure be cool to fight Fedor in the finals, you know. And that was a year ago, you know, when we walked out here in the forum, you know, and just kept my head down, got it done, and here we are. I got 3 belts, and it's a good time.
Who's your pick in the Congo Minikov fight, and if so, how do you think you would match up against the winner?
I don't know. I haven't watched too much of Minikov at all, to be honest. I know they fought before, and I don't know how that went, because you know, I know the result, but I didn't watch the fight. So I watched Congo. You know, he's on a tear, and so yeah, we'll see what happens with them, and we'll get with Bellator, see where they want me, see if it all meshes, and just kind of go from there. You know, I want to enjoy this moment, not think about. I've had a fight on my mind this whole tournament, this whole year. I knew who I was fighting, so it's nice to take a couple weeks and say, hey, I don't have anybody on the schedule. I don't know a date, nothing.
Hey Ryan, congrats, right front. The left that you hit with Fedor, that's the same one that you landed on Mo that knocked him out?
Yeah, more or less. This one I had to go out and kind of reach him a little bit, because Fedor kind of has that stance where he's kind of straight up, kind of hopping, he's a little back. With Mo, he's always ducking his head to the side with his hands down. So we were setting up a little high kick or left hook with him, but with Fedor, you know, Fedor waits and tries to time you, and I was trying to time him, because I knew he was timing me. You know, and he's trying to throw a right hand, and that's when I kind of, you know, he had to respect my wrestling. So I think him looking at my fight with Matt, he's like, he's gonna come out here just trying to take me down right away, trying to get me tired. You know, so I wanted to use that to my advantage, give a little feint, and let him run into that left hook. And you know, if you look at kind of the picture, it's almost straightened out like that. So hit him hard, and we practice that a lot.
Did you get punched one time in this tournament?
I don't think so.
That's
Yeah,
a
you know, Matt might have. I don't ever get punched on the feet. You know, it might be one of those things on the ground or something. But yeah, you know, not in the first 2 fights at all. Then with Matt, I mean, if he got me on the bottom or whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, looking back, in the fight before that, didn't get hit. You know, then we go to the Phil Davis fight, which is, I think there's like 4 punches total in there.
On Twitter, Tito Ortiz said that he wants to come back and fight Chelson and then fight you again. Would you have any interest in having that fight back, that rematch with Tito?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
After I won the title, I was bugging him. He was at the bar. We were both there, and I was like, hey, you coming back? You coming back? He's like, I'm done, man. I'm done. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be fun. You know, he has to come back and definitely prove himself. And obviously, that's, you know, a fight I don't dwell on, but a fight that I want to get back. You know, all my losses, but it'd be a fun fight.
A few years ago, Daniel Cormier said he wanted to fight Ryan Bader, the easiest guy in the division. Now you have more belts than DC has. Any message for Daniel Cormier?
You know, I'm over that, but you know, he's one of those guys. He proves himself over and over again. He's a champ. Yeah, you know, in and out of the cage there, beating monsters. You know, nothing but respect from over here. You know, it'd be fun to do a cross promotion for the champ. But we'll see if that ever happens.
Ryan, congrats on the fight.
Thank you.
Talked about your strategy offensively, about throwing the lead left hook, especially how Fedor keeps that right hand.
So our whole thing was going to go out there. We didn't want to go out there and take him down right away. I mean, if it presented itself and he got overzealous on the right hand, yeah, we would have done that. But want to go out there, kind of establish it with kind of a jab. I want to kind of paw at him a little bit and see what he was kind of read him basically. And what I was reading out there was he was waiting for that time to throw his jumping right hand. I could see it in his muscles. He gives a little twitch. He's ready. So I was staying just outside that distance, and I kind of threw like a little left to see where I was at, and then I kind of stepped down or feinted and threw that left hook and caught him. You know, I mean, there's only 30 seconds, but that's what I was seeing. I was just trying to read him out there, and that was my whole goal. I was going to stay out of that kind of that firefight. You know, being in there with him at the beginning, but at the same time make him work hard and kind of get his energy levels kind of down, and then kind of take over. but I just happened to catch him with that left beforehand.
He's kind of known, not just as a takedown artist, but as someone who's actually reverses takedowns in the middle of a takedown. He's done that quite a lot. Did that alter your entry or your takedown game or your strategy going on?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird with Chill. You know, Chill ducked him and he grabbed his arm. It was pretty impressive, and threw him and hipped him over. Hipped over. That was one of the things where we were willing to go in there and be in bad positions for that first round and do all that spazzy stuff to get him tired. Even if he did wind up on top and he threw. He's very strong in his hips and explosive. He'll kind of lay there, and you try to advance on position, he'll explode. And so we were willing to go through that to come out in the second round and be like, all right, I'm fresh. I feel good. I know I could go 5 rounds hard. I didn't know he's never been 5 rounds over 3. So that was kind of the plan going in, but at the same time, I thought I could catch him too with his hands down.
And last question, as a fan of MMA yourself, do you want to see Fedor fight again?
I don't think he has anything left to prove. I'm one of those guys though. If your heart's in it and you want to, and you're not going to be satisfied in your life unless you do one more or you want to go out on a win, then you should be able to do what he wants. He's earned that right. But yeah, I mean, I see both sides. You want to remember him also as the Fedor Pride era, tearing people up. And he's been able to. That's the thing though too. If you look at he got Mitrione got him, but he went through and beat Mir and Sonnen in the first round. It's not like he's lost 5 in a row or anything like that. He's coming off a win streak here and in the finals of a heavyweight tournament. So that's up to him.
Do one more over here. One more over here.
Yep.
What do you do tonight to celebrate not only a win over Fedor, but getting a heavyweight belt? What's the celebration?
It's always like sweeter before the fight. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna do this. To be honest, I got a bunch of family and friends here. We'll go back to the hotel bar. I'll have a couple of beers and try to eat because I've been eating protein bars and that all day. I want to eat something different. Honestly, and then I'm gonna stay here. I got my kids here at the beach, so I'll stay here a couple of days and then go home. Really hang out with family. It's a lot different now than having kids and all that kind of stuff. So, but the best feeling is you fall asleep at night, like tonight, right? And you wake up, and every morning of this week, you're like, what day is it? Oh, I got weigh-ins today. Oh shit, it's fight day, And tomorrow I get to wake up and open my eyes and say, man, I'm heavyweight champion and light heavyweight champion, and I just beat Fedor. So that's a good morning right there.
Nice.